Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Black Bull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Black Bull Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. That's right, get either the Essential, Plus or Premium plans absolutely free, and all you need to do is trade from one lot a month at Black Bull Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. You've probably heard me talking about trading with confidence, and honestly, it's a lot easier when you're not risking your own money. That's why I wanted to mention Blue Guardian. They offer instant funding or a challenge to get you started, and up to $400k in funding, weekly payouts and a 90% profit split, and they've already paid out over 15 million to traders around the world. Plus they're sponsoring Birmingham City FC and Chris Eubank Jr., so you know they're serious about backing performance. Check them out at blueguardian.com or check the link in the description.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brinks Trades coming to you live with another breakdown video, breakdown week. Hope everybody had a good trading week last week and a good all around, just overall week. So again, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Brinks Trades. Every week I come on here and basically break down charts for you guys, courtesy of the Trading Nut podcast. You might be watching this on Trading Nut, you might be watching this on my YouTube channel, but again, if you're not subscribed, go check my YouTube channel out at brinkstrades.com. But yeah, so come on here every week and basically break down the indices, and I'm the resident indices analyst for the Trading Nut podcast. So just come on here and throw my analysis on here for what I think is going to happen, right? And hopefully give you guys some direction. So what I want to do, it seems like there's about 12 people on the call. Usually I do these calls on Saturdays, but just life was kind of crazy yesterday, so I wasn't able to come on and do it. So hopefully you guys didn't miss me too much, but hopefully you guys get some value again out of this. But got about 12 people on the call. I love to see where people are calling in from. I know this is an international podcast. I know Chris is based in like New Zealand or Australia. I think it's New Zealand. I'm pretty sure it's New Zealand. I should know this by now. But yeah, so love to see where people are calling in from. So if you're watching this and it's your first time watching, or you are a regular watcher, a regular tuner inner, I don't know, you regularly tune into this, drop where you're calling in from, and we'll go ahead and get into it. So I usually try not to keep these too long, usually not more than 30 minutes or so, but let's see if my screen is being shared. Let's go ahead and drop that down there. And yeah, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about charts, man. Let's go ahead and get into it, break it down. And let's go ahead and talk about things. So, I've been calling this out for a while, right? And everything. If you guys are a regular watcher of the channel, of the show, you guys know that I like to come on here every week and basically break down dollar index first, because again, if you understand where dollar is going, dollar is king. And if you understand where dollar is going, then you should be able to kind of take things to the next level and take that analysis and apply it across all different markets. And so I've been saying this for the last really few months, right? And again, we started a new month last week. So again, we always kind of hop to the higher time frame view, but dollar is extremely bearish right now. This is a bearish market, right? And again, I've said this multiple times. It doesn't matter if you trade traditional retail concepts or if you look at this as SMC with a double top formation, or you might look at this and say consolidation, manipulation, distribution, right? Either way, right, you're gonna have, looking at this as a bearish market, and that's a pretty good analysis either way, right? We have this this little small fair value gap the price traded into, obviously respected it, but the minute the price broke structure, right, we are looking clearly at a bearish market, right? So we can see that this market has been bearish for at least the last few months, really since April of this year. So, and if that's the case, our long-term views, like month to month, and it could take months to get down here, but our month to month kind of like timeline is we want to see if the market can really come down here and take this on a monthly level, right? There are some fair value gaps up here where the market could trade back up into, but this is extremely bearish, right? And I want to see if the market over the next year can really take things down here. So let's jump down to the weekly time frame. If we get a little bit closer view of what we actually care about, right? Obviously, that long-term view is something that, it's going to play out over months, or it could take months to get there. If it does play out, then, it's not something that we can actually actionably trade today. So again, when we talk about dollar index, man, honestly, we've been in a really tight consolidation range. So, but from a weekly perspective, because we are in a downtrend, we would like to see this continue to go lower, right? We saw the market really rally up here, kind of test consequent encroachment of that wick, and then continue to go lower. So right now we've been in this consolidation pretty much for the last month and some change, since the beginning of August or end of July, really. Well, beginning of August, really. So the entire month of August, last month, we really just been in consolidation here. So last week we had a couple of things that I wanted to see. Again, I still am thinking bearish dollar, and if we are going to run a bearish dollar, then I want to see this potentially invert and go down, right? So I want to see the market continue to run, continue to take lows and go lower. Now, last week there was something here that kind of caught my attention, and I thought Friday, Friday's price action on dollar, we were starting to get that bearish move that I thought we were going to get. Again, you can see that the wick it comes all the way down here, just below the 97 points, let's call it 4.2 level. But then wick right back up, right back inside this overarching CIBI. Sorry, this overarching inverted fair value gap here, or ideal inverted fair value gap here. And so really it was a very clean liquidity sweep, right? Taking out these lows right here. So again, I'm still running with the bearish idea until otherwise, because again, I want to see a bearish dollar, and it does line up with the higher time frame move. But I don't like that. I don't like seeing the market sweep these lows and then go higher, right? But again, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, we're still very much bearish. So ideally, what do I want to see here? I want us to get out of this range, right? This has been kind of a monthly consolidation level. So, I really want us to get out of this range before I really start going heavy on any type of positions, right? But I would love to see something like this week, where the market trades back up into this gap and then starts to run lower, right? Right back into that CIBI. And again, I'm only running with what we have here as an overarching idea. I do not like the fact that we sweep these lows. But this is something that I would be looking to see play out, right? If we are going to continue with this bearish idea, we could chop in here for another week, right? It's already been a month of chop, so wouldn't be surprised if we got another few days of chop. So, but ideally, this is the best case scenario. I would like to see something like this play out. Potentially, maybe form the high of the day or high of the week on Monday, and then trade into this fair value gap, that daily fair value gap that will be formed by the high of Monday's candle, and then take that high out and continue to start running towards these lows. That's my ideal scenario for dollar. So if we're bullish on dollar, that means we should be bearish on currencies. I'm sorry, if we're bearish on dollar, we should be bullish on currencies. Shout out Tony hopping on here. Always, man. Tony's gonna be. I keep telling people in the chat, Tony's gonna be, man, a superstar trader by the time it's all said and done, man. Because he's one of the students in the mentorship group that's really been killing it lately. So if we're bearish on dollar, we do want to see us bullish, right, on foreign currencies or assets that are opposite of that inverse of dollar. So euro, we'd like to see bullish momentum, right? And we kind of starting to get that, right? So last week really ended with a Friday that was bullish. Very similarly to dollar, we swept these highs right there, but then still stayed inside of this fair value gap. So if I zoom in a little bit, you can see these levels really respected, or actually fully inverted right now. So you can see that the market really actually did invert dollars. So that's actually a really good sign. The market inverted this euro CIBI here. Again, we were looking for something, again, if we wanted to see the dollar run higher or dollar run lower, we wanted to see euro run higher. And we needed some kind of confirmation that the market is no longer interested in running lower. And I think an inversion fair value gap like this is the start of a good sign here. Ideally, if we are going to go higher with this, I would want us to potentially retest this imbalance that we just formed here, this candle. And it could be the low of Monday. forming kind of the high end of a fair value gap, like something like that, where we would kind of then look maybe Tuesday, Wednesday for the rest of the week to try to trade into that and like that, right? And really take things higher, right? So that's ideally what I would like to see. And then, obviously start attacking these highs here, right? We have some low resistance liquidity or trendline liquidity that's kind of forming here. And with each of these levels kind of having their own level of probably orders and buy side sitting above them, right? So I kind of note all these things out. So ideally, this is ideally what I would like to see here. So that's ideally what I'd like to see, is the market really start running up and attacking these levels here at 1.178, looks like, and 1.829. So that's some work where we are currently sitting in price. It's over 100 points, right? So that could be a potentially good setup right there, right? So that's something to keep in mind. So that's looking decently good. Again, I would like us to stay above this gap now that we've kind of inverted it a couple times. We did take out this high and kind of sweep that, so that's kind of a little nervousness. So really would like this to see like bullishness, and really, if we do come back into this gap, rejections, strong rejections that are going to take us up to these levels. I think between where we are currently sitting at price wise and potentially, where the all-time high is, or the current high, not the all-time high. There's some really good trade setups that kind of exist in that range. So, this is just what it would look like in the daily. Obviously, the risk would be a little bit smaller and lower on the other time frames, on the lower time frames. But just from this daily perspective, this is a 1 to 3 right there. So I know we could find something that's a little bit better if we jump down to the lower time frames. So again, that's what I'll be looking at on Euro. I'm glad it finally kind of came out of that gap again, and it's been really kind of it's really been testing this gap for the last month. So it's good to see that with that first week of September that we're starting to get some momentum back. I tell my students all the time that September is really the time of year where the market starts running again after kind of a slow summer. Usually August is kind of a slow month. Again, I tell my students this, so they're kind of aware of this, but like, you kind of have to treat trading like a real job, right? Because again, hedge funds, big bank institutions, they're looking at trading kind of like the way that we look at trading, or we look at our careers and our jobs, right? So summertime obviously is a lot of vacations, people are away from their desks. The back to school happens, you might be taking vacations with the kids or trying to get that last little bit of summer in before you clock back in for September. And that's kind of what the trading world is too. So I'm glad that we're starting to see some momentum again, and I'm happy that that's coming back around. So again, let's look at USD. Let's look at GBP. So look at GBP USD, GBP, and actually let's look at GBP USD. So very much the same thing. There are some good signs here with GBP. One of the things that I like is, this was actually a swing trade that I took last week on GBP, was this trade from here, this low to pretty much this high, the high end of that fair value gap right there. I took it on my FTMO challenge. If you guys haven't heard, FTMO is back in the United States. So they're pretty much the leading prop firm. I'm really excited to work with them because now they're offering a lot of different things and a lot of different opportunities. Again, obviously get maxed out 400K with them. This is not an advertisement, but I'm not officially affiliated with them. But I'm definitely excited about the opportunity because they will allow you to get fully funded with up to 400K. Obviously, you can grow that K to like 1 million, something like that over X amount of days or years or months or whatever. But also, they're allowing their traders to get associated or develop relationships with their prop firm called Quantland. And so they actually acquired not only Oanda, but they also acquired a prop firm as well. And so traders who are shown the ability to really grow accounts and kind of, really show their skills. They're going to get put on salary, and they're also going to get access to a prop firm there too. So it's really exciting stuff that industry is doing. I hope other companies in the industry start doing stuff like that, where they are putting their traders on salary, right? And it kind of takes away some of the like the uncertainty, right? That it comes with being a trader, right? It's obviously you don't have a set salary when you do this. You're making everything off of your commissions, but to throw your traders even maybe a couple $1,000s a month in just salary is a really good look. It kind of takes away your peace of mind, right? You can obviously focus on just executing trades. And obviously if you're a person that works their full-time job and trades at the same time, it's even better, right? So it's letting you know that you're kind of stepping into this world, and it's actually something you should be taking seriously instead of just a hustle. So anyway, that's enough of my rant. So let's look at GBP. Again, there was a huge daily fair value gap that we did start to invert here. I'd like that idea, even though there's an order block sitting here. This order block here, we haven't fully cleared it. But ideally, I'd like to see something similar to dollar, where we do this, start running up towards this high right here. Again, we inverted this fair value gap, but we didn't really disrespect this order block just yet. So I'm kind of interested in what that's going to be. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's remove my screen, bring this back. Cool. Sorry. So yeah, so ideally I want to see us, now that we fully inverted this, I do want us to see us to stay higher and start running more bullish. But again, this is a large degree of chop. And so again, I was telling my students this over the weekend, but when you start running into situations with chop, you really have to start looking at the smaller time frame to see what you can really see. And so again, this is interesting because we did technically invert this fair value gap, but then we're immediately closed right back below. We're trading inside of the secondary imbalance here. So ideally, I'd like us to see something like this. Right, I'd like us to kind of take things a little bit higher and go like that. Now, again, it kind of all depends on how we come out with this week. We've already kind of gapped down to start out of the week, which isn't a great sign for us to stay in above this gap. But I really would like us. I'm definitely going to try and go long over this imbalance here, this fair value gap. If we can stay above this and find really good sell setups between this level and the high, that's going to be something I'm really interested in. As of right now, again, I just need some more bullish confirmation. So we'll see if we can get that throughout the week. Let's look at NQ. Overall, so far, Euro looks like the best setup. NQ is messy. I'd like this to kind of stay bullish, but it's all over the place. We got wicks to the downside, wicks up here to the top side, and we're kind of trading still in our gap, right? So I don't really have a bias here. And then ES kind of took out its all-time high and closed below it. I don't like the fact that we've reached up here twice now and tried to take out that high and failed to get above it. So I'm going to stay away from ES. I'm going to look at YM and see. YM is just kind of in a range too. Ideally, I'm bullish always on indices because their purpose is an investment vehicle. They are supposed to go up over time, so it's kind of hard to bet against it. So I will say that I would like the market to come back up here and retest the all-time high, but there's not really a strong trade either way. If you look here, you can see that the market is retesting this middle 50% of that fair value gap. So again, we'll see what happens. I'm not too interested in that. Last one I'm going to look at here is gold. Gold is trading close to its all-time high. It actually swept its all-time high. Again, we're kind of close to that high, so I'm going to be cautious, but ideally I'd like to see the market trade back into this fair value gap here. right? Go a little bit lower, trade into that, and take things back to the all-time high. I wouldn't hold gold like this because again, it's it's event-driven market. It's trading near its all-time high, so you never really know. It could take out this high and then just crash. I doubt that'll happen, but you never know. So you got to play it safe. I'm gonna look at USD/JPY again too, because this is another one that. Well, I'm gonna look at a few more currency assets because I want to see if there's anything that's a clear trade setup thing. AUD USD. Let's see. I mean, I see AUD as bullish, but I don't see a great opportunity there. NZD USD. Again, this is I'm going through all the pairs. Now you can see we started to find some level of support after we swept this low here, took out that liquidity, and if you look at the daily time frame, you can see actually some trendline liquidity building, right? So you have this right here. So this actually is kind of a good opportunity. I just need to see a bullish break of structure that gets us back over. But anytime you see this trendline liquidity like this building up, like these sharp pullbacks like this, especially it's when it's counter trend of what's been happening over the past few days, weeks, months, or whatever your time frame you're looking at things on, that's a really good opportunity to take things long potentially. So I would love for us to fully break structure here. Like that. Start really going the other way. Last thing that I want to take a look at is USD JPY. Did I look at that one already? So USD JPY has been in this really crazy consolidation the last month or so, and nothing's really changed here. Ideally, I would like this to run lower because it lines up with the bearish dollar idea. And you can see all these wicks to the top side, all that price action here. And you could look here. If I draw a line here, kind of representing that high. Oops. You can see that the market really has failed to stay above this level here. Keeps running it. So I'd like USD JPY to go lower, even though it just gapped up right here. I'd like the market to run lower and start attacking these lows and what's down here. So ideally, actually they're right there, but ideally I'm bearish on USD JPY. I'm gonna write this down. And I tend to I'm getting in the habit of trying to gold star or flag the currencies that I'm most interested in or assets that I'm most interested in for this week. So I'm gonna move this one up. A little bit. Oh, it's already up there. It's awkward. Okay. But we're still really trading this wedge. So ideally, I would like us to continue to kind of trade start looking bearish. We have a lot of wicks to the top side. But remember, we are still in this kind of consolidated state. So that's ideally what I'd like to see. So again, I'm going to flag it this week just because I like what I'm seeing somewhat. The wicks to the top side. It's kind of falling in line with our overall bias on dollar. So Euro, USD, Euro USD, USD JPY, NZD are the three pairs that I'm looking at this week that are going to be the most make the most sense for me based on what we have. Let me get rid of this too. So hopefully we can capture something really good this week. NZD USD, Euro JPY, USDC. So let me get rid of this. So NZD, Euro, and USD JPY. The three that I'm really interested in. Someone said, what's my opinion on Euro USD? again, yeah. So basically, I'm bearish. I'm sorry, bullish on euro. If you look back here, I would like it to fully invert this fair value gap and then keep going higher. This lines up with my idea for a bearish dollar as well. So obviously they want to run opposite. If you ever see euro and dollar running the same, it's usually a red flag. It means you probably shouldn't be trading anything right at that moment, or trading those two assets. So that's kind of what I'm looking at again for this week. Let's get to the any questions. If anybody has, feel free to drop them in the chat while we're talking. Again, I love answering the questions for everybody. So hopefully we got about 34 people on the call. So that's awesome. Maybe I need to start doing these on Sundays when the market opens up. But yeah, so again, if you guys aren't following me or subscribed to my social media, please find me on all accounts, Brinks Trades. That's TikTok, that's Instagram, that's YouTube. Again, I'm really trying to build my YouTube subscribers. So you might be watching this on YouTube, on my YouTube, or you might be watching this on Trading Nuts. If you are watching this on YouTube, head over to Brinks Trades. And please, please, please subscribe. I need the subscribers. I'm trying to build that platform out. I think one day when I'm done teaching, I might teach people for free, and I might just be purely YouTube based on some like ICT type stuff. But I'm not quite there yet. But speaking of my community is called Talented 10th. If you guys have ever never been there, please check it out. It's Talented 10th Trading. Let me drop the actual spelling right. Talented10thtrading.com. Right. So that's my community where I use really two platforms there. There's a free community, a free tab where I update people with kind of like just basic stuff. And I kind of talk to them about updates. Because again, obviously we know that I'm doing these markets right now on Sundays open. We know anything could change between now and the end of the week. So, if there are changes or if my bias changes between now and the end of the week, I usually try to update people in that chat or talk a little bit about what's going on, what I'm seeing. I also have my mentorship again. So it's talented10thtrading.com. So again, this is my trading community. Again, we have that free Discord, but we also have the mentorship where basically you can work with me and learn my strategy top to bottom as somebody that's been funded over $1 million in funded accounts, both in the Forex and the futures space. I've maxed out the amount of accounts that I can get with Apex. I've been fully funded with Top Step. I've been funded, at 800,000 or 900,000 when it came to the Forex and CFD space before everything went crazy in 2023. I'm in the process of getting everything back now. With on the CFD side again now with FTMO being back, that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for people. But again, if you are familiar, if you are in the community, you guys can obviously talk about how that experience has been. But it's essentially I pour a lot into the students and a lot into the community, and so I do these calls, obviously, which are open to everybody in the world. You can hop on. That's my analysis. But inside the community, I'm outlining trades. I'm talking about my thought process because, again, I think the most important thing you can get from a mentor is their thought process on the trades and not actually the strategy itself, right? Because if you understand a strategy but you don't know when to execute it, then that's a problem, right? So if your mentor is not showing you his thought process on trades, and he's just showing you before and afters, that's a problem, right? And so you should be learning from somebody that can take you into a live market and say, this is what I think is going to happen, or even a paper market, right? And say, this is what I think is going to happen based on this. And maybe they're outlining trades and their thought process after the fact, or on a live call, but they should be able to give you the same steps over and over and over again as to what they're looking for in the market and what they're looking for in their trades. If they can't give you that, then they're probably not a good mentor. And so I would always check in with that, and I would always, to check that out. But again, talented10thtrading.com. This is the community again where I teach. And if we jump over to Discord really quickly. Oops. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. Can't show you my password. not show you my password unless like my whole Discord gets hacked, and that's not a good look for everybody. So let me log in like this. Do, 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 do. Oh, okay, cool. I was like, it sent me an alert saying, why did I never sign in from another user? And I'm like, what the heck? I'm not another user on me. All right, so in this community, right, you guys can see everything that I teach and I outline. Obviously, we talk about grades. We talk about, this is more general stuff. Again, I recently charted. I went back to FTMO, so I was back on MetaTrader. I first came in the game trading in 2014, 2015 using MetaTrader, and this is it's a crazy feeling to be back trading on that platform again. It's the platform that I started trading on. It's a lot of nostalgia there. The last couple of years, I haven't been using that. So currently on my FTMO challenge, I'm up about $7,000. I have to make it to 10 for phase one. So I'm going to spend, some time this next few months really trying to max out FTMO and getting fully funded with them, and then start attacking some of these other firms as well. Again, I think the CFD space is starting to be in a good space back in the United States, which is a good sign. And even if they're not, I'm trying to get fully funded with them again before anything else happens, if it does happen again, because it seems like they tend to honor their traders that are trading with them. But they just, last time it happened, they cut off any traders that weren't trading. Like they cut off any traders from buying new challenges with them. So definitely want to get fully funded with them regardless, with all the stuff that I talked about with FTMO, actually transforming kind of like the prop firm space. So again, it's not an advertisement for FTMO. I'm actually hoping it's something that all prop firms do in the future, that they attach themselves to hedge funds, right? And actually start taking the best traders from their trading evaluation firms and start attaching them to real money and, trading hedge fund money, and actually paying the traders a salary, right? I think all these evaluations should be used to identify the really good traders to actually make this, this game a little bit more legit. So I'm really excited about that opportunity. Again, if you want to follow along with that, you can definitely see that in the general chat. But then I also have the lab, which is the paid community, right? So everybody in here is a paid member and paid to be in here at one point or the other. And so here, this was outlining the swing trade that I took this past week and really breaking everything down as far as like what I was looking for. This was another trade that I took on Monday where I got stopped out at break even. But this trade that I took on GBP last week was a huge winner, and it actually resulted in the bulk of that challenge being passed, right? So again, I'm really focusing and dialing down on these challenges because I want to get this capital, and I really, 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 really want to go into 2026 with a ton of capital, and really being able to kind of set things off where I can, obviously use that again. The last 4 months, if you guys haven't been paying attention, the last few months I had been trading with my own capital, and I showed you guys what you could do with the $10,000 or $20,000 account and how you can grow that over time. And I was able to show that. It's like the third or fourth time that I've been able to kind of take an account like that and grow it and flip it and things like that, I guess, so to speak. But again, I did want to show people that it is possible to grow your own money. But if you want to make the tens, the hundreds of thousands of dollars per payout or per year, you do need a lot of capital to do that. And I think a lot of times traders think that because they don't have a lot of access to capital, they can just take a small amount of capital and just flip it. And that's going to lead to a lot of stress. That's going to be very stressful. So, what I'm always advocating for is using prop firms if you want a lot of capital, using your own personal capital if you are tired of the prop firm system, right? And eventually everybody's goal should be to trade their own capital at some point, unless you're trading for a hedge fund and you kind of finesse that your way into that. So that's a long-term goal of mine. So hopefully one day I can accomplish it by actually trading at a hedge fund. So hopefully that's way more than the USD question, but hopefully you got a lot of value out of this, and I'll stay on for any questions. So if you guys have any questions at all, I guess, about other charts, other pairs, other currencies, my general thought process, again, there's 30 people on this call, and there's not too often you guys get a chance to pick the brains of somebody who's been in this space for a decade, who's gotten funded multiple times, payouts, etc. So definitely pick my brain. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. And definitely check out the community. Again, anything Brinks Trades, BRINX Trades on social media, or better yet, the Discord, where I'm gonna be more active in there. So I would say if you have the ability to jump in there, please do. It's free. If you want to learn from me directly, there's a 7-day free trial on that as well, so you don't have to pay anything for 7 days. So you can literally hop in the lab, check out everything that I got to offer as a trader. The WAP course, obviously the Discord is one thing, but there's also a WAP course with Talented 10th as well, where I upload weekly. I actually have to upload the calls today. Let me see if I can show you guys the back end. This is actually all of my the access to everything you get with the community and stuff. So, but yeah, so you get access to a lot of different things here when you become a paid member. And so hopefully that's is something that you guys are interested in. Again, 7-day free trial on that, but then just join the community free through the tab. Check all that stuff out. And again, I'll drop the link here. If you guys have any questions at all, again, about this, or again, the charts, feel free to hit me up. If you want to hit me on social media and ask me a question, I'm usually always open. Discord is usually the best place to get in contact with me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed a lot of this. Millie Rock says SND or SND. I don't know what that means. Sorry. I don't know what that means, bro. You might have to break it down. Hopefully it's nothing crazy, but you might have to break it down for me. So I'll let you do that. Yeah, so this is essentially the course. I have a ton of videos on here and they grow every week. Webinars, liquidity matrix, how to understand all of these things, where we put all this stuff together. And more context are added, especially every week I update, when I do my private call on Sundays, which is a free call. I'm sorry, it's a call for my mentorship group where we basically attack all of their problems, right? So they come to me and I treat it like office hours. Like, what are they struggling with? What concepts do they want to learn? If they don't have anything, then I talk about my own personal trades that week and how I did. And that way you can kind of see my thought process. Again, I feel like a true mentor should be able to understand obviously your problems, see things from your point of view, but then also teach you his mentality. So when you walk into these trade setups, you are doing the same thing over and over and over again. So it's robotic, right? And so that's the one piece that we're trying to really nail down and really get for our traders, is just understanding that you guys, where you guys are at, what holes are missing, and how can we gap these holes, and how can you walk into the charts and say, okay, I think like Blake now, right? And so that I feel like a lot of traders don't do that. So hopefully you guys understand that a little bit, and hopefully it's something that you guys are interested in. If not, check out the free chat, get in there. If I had take advantage, if I go back to year 1, year 2, year 3 of trading, I would have saved so much time if I just would have found a trader that I could have just learned his style and learned his thought process. And you hear everybody say that because it's true, right? I spent 10 years, I've been trading for 10 years, and I'd say probably at least 5 or 6 of those years were unprofitable years because I didn't have access to everything you guys have access to now. Man, trading is so open. There's so many resources. Our prop firms, I couldn't even imagine prop firms because one, you were scared that everything was going to be a scam. And then two, what we had to do back in the day was take our own accounts, our $300 accounts, our $200 accounts, our paychecks, and put them into the markets and say, okay, cool. Hopefully I can make some money. So hopefully you guys are taking advantage of everything. This is the best and easiest time to be a day trader. This is like honestly the best opportunity ever for trying to do this as your full-time career or just make some extra money on the side. So hopefully you guys take full advantage of this opportunity. So again, I'm on for any questions, but hopefully that wraps everything up for you. So again, I'll stay on to answer. Millie Rock had a question about SND or SND. I don't know what that means. But yeah, just let me know if you guys have any other questions. We could take it from there. So, okay, guys. Well, hopefully you guys have a good trading week. And then again, always hit me on the Discord or hit me anywhere if you guys have any questions. So, peace.
Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Black Bull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Black Bull Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. That's right, get either the Essential, Plus or Premium plans absolutely free, and all you need to do is trade from one lot a month at Black Bull Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. Hey, if you like futures because of the tight spreads and clear setups, go check out Blue Guardian Futures. They let you start trading futures with up to $450k in funding. The best part, you keep 100% of your first 15k in profits, then 90% after that. No activation fees, weekly payouts, and they're sponsoring Chris Eubank Jr. and Birmingham City FC. Go take a look at blueguardianfutures.com or click the link in the description.